The arrogant tourist pulled the royal guard's strap, smirking and expecting no consequences. But a second later, the rifle slammed into his chest with a dull thud, knocking him back and sending him crashing onto the pavement. The crowd gasped, cameras flashed, but this was only the beginning. London greets tourists with a warm yet slightly overcast morning. Clouds drift lazily over Buckingham Palace, allowing occasional rays of sunlight to pierce through. Near the massive palace gates, a crowd gathers, couples with cameras, groups of noisy teenagers, elderly tourists with guides, and of course the city's unshakable attraction, the motionless royal guards in their red uniforms and towering bearskin hats. Among the diverse mix of tourists, one man stands out, a tall, lean American, around 35 years old, with short, light brown hair and a permanent smirk that gives his face an air of cocky confidence. He wears a baggy t-shirt with an American flag, mint green knee-length shorts, and white sneakers that are already scuffed and dirty. In one hand, he holds a plastic cup of beer, and in the other, a phone, constantly recording. "All right, guys, check this out. Look where I am," he announces into the camera with exaggerated excitement. "Buckingham Palace. This is where the Queen, or the King, whatever, lives. And these guys," he swings the camera toward the motionless guard, "they say these guys are the elite of the British Army." Standing next to him is another tourist, a short, stocky man with a red beard, flushed face, and an uncontrollable laugh. This is his friend, Max, another American, just as drunk but even louder. He clutches a beer can in one hand, leaving the other free to gesture wildly, like a conductor of chaos. "Oh, scary guys," Max snickers, swaying slightly. "They look more like mannequins." "Right?" Jason grins. "Hey, let's put them to the test." He zooms in on the guard's face, a young, fair-skinned man with a perfectly clean-shaven face. The guard stands still as a statue, his posture straight, hands at his sides, rifle with a fixed bayonet firmly held. His expression is utterly blank, as if he were carved from stone. The crowd watches the Americans with interest. Some whisper, some look on with mild disapproval, while others pull out their phones, sensing a moment worth capturing. "Hey, what if I just—" Jason pauses dramatically, his smirk widening as his gaze locks onto the strap running across the guard's chest. Max freezes for a moment, then bursts into laughter. "Dude, come on. He's got a weapon." "Oh, please," Jason scoffs. "They don't even move. Look at him. He's not reacting at all. These guys are just like living props." He steps closer, his face now just inches from the guards. The crowd falls silent, but remains fixed on the scene. "Let's see what he's made of." Max chokes on laughter, but even in his drunken eyes, doubt flickers for a split second. "Dude, this is a bad idea." But Jason has already decided. He reaches out and grabs the guard's strap, tugging it with a dumb smirk. The crowd gasps. A moment of absolute silence. Someone grips their phone tighter, still recording. Someone whispers softly, "Oh my God." And then, in an instant, the air shatters with an unexpected sound. It happens in the blink of an eye, so fast that no one in the crowd can even process it. The guard moves. Like lightning, his hands spring to action. His rifle snaps into position, and he takes a sharp step back, freeing the strap from Jason's grip. "Stand back!" His voice cuts through the air like a thunderclap. It's not just a voice, it's a command, charged with sheer military authority. There is no hesitation, no emotion, just pure, trained power, demanding immediate compliance. The crowd jolts. Someone gasps. Cameras shake, but no one stops filming. Jason, who just seconds ago was the cocky center of attention, flinches in shock. His muscles stiffen instinctively, he stumbles backward, and in the next moment, his plastic cup slips from his fingers. The cold, sticky beer spills across his American flag t-shirt. "Shit!" he yelps, looking down at himself, as if his brain is still catching up to what just happened. Max, standing beside him, doesn't hold back. "Dude, he almost took you out." He stumbles back a step, now genuinely afraid, his gaze fixed on the guard, who no longer looks like a lifeless statue, but like the embodiment of discipline, power, and authority. The rifle remains raised, his eyes locked straight ahead, but now even the most clueless tourists understand this man is not part of the scenery. The crowd erupts in whispers. "Oh my God," a woman murmurs, covering her mouth. "Did you get that on camera?" A teenager shakes his friend's shoulder in excitement. "Damn, they really do this!" Another voice exclaims in amazement. Some people laugh, others shake their heads in disbelief. The entire atmosphere is charged with tension. But Jason, despite everything, doesn't back down. His pride is wounded. He wipes the spilled beer from his shirt, his breathing ragged, not from fear, but from anger. He raises his head, narrowing his eyes at the guard. And then he steps forward. "Seriously?" His voice drips with mockery, but there's a sharp edge of irritation. "Dude, are you for real? What are you gonna do, huh?" The guard does not move. But now, even in his stillness, the pressure is suffocating. His eyes remain locked forward, yet they burn with steely determination. The crowd freezes again, as if realizing that this isn't over yet. "Step back, sir." That booming voice again. Powerful, unwavering, undeniable. Now no one is laughing. No one dares make a sound. Everyone knows one more step and things will take a turn no one can undo. The air feels thicker. The crowd murmurs. Some gasp, some laugh. But the noise seems muted, leaving only two men in the center of attention. Jason and the guard. They stand face to face. One is motionless, carved from stone. The other, drunk, angry, humiliated, yet still too stubborn to realize what he's gotten himself into. Jason's chest rises and falls, his breathing heavy beneath his beer-soaked t-shirt. The crowd laughs. He hears it, he feels it, and to him, laughter is a slap in the face. He can't walk away like a beaten dog. He chooses to double down. With a defiant, slow, deliberate motion, he reaches for the guard's strap again. "Come on, show me what you got." He smirks, dragging out the words. He thinks he's won. He thinks he's broken this actor. But he's wrong. In an instant, the guard moves. And it's not just movement. It's trained reflex. A sharp, lightning-fast step forward. Crack! The rifle slams across Jason's chest, a powerful thrust knocking him backward. Boom! The dull thud of wood meeting bone echoes across the square. The crowd erupts. "Oh my God! Did you get that? Holy shit!" Jason falls. His legs buckle. His body crashes onto the pavement with a heavy thud. His back slams into the cold stone, his arms flailing awkwardly to the sides. A few seconds of absolute silence. All cameras are on him. "Dude, holy shit!" Max stands frozen before rushing to his friend, grabbing his arm, trying to pull him up. The crowd splits into two sides. Some cheer, clap, laugh, loving the spectacle. Others shake their heads, muttering among themselves. "He asked for it. That guard didn't hold back. Damn. Man, that had to hurt." Jason jumps to his feet, and his face, it's not just anger, it's rage. His cheeks burn, his eyes are bloodshot, his fists clenched. A deafening roar fills his ears, not from pain, but from humiliation. What the hell? He was just thrown to the ground in front of hundreds of people, in front of cameras, in front of tourists. The guard stands completely still again, as if nothing happened, as if Jason doesn't exist. And that infuriates him even more. "Security! Police! Jason screams, waving his arms. This is assault! The crowd laughs. You started it, dumbass, someone shouts. He deserved it, another voice calls out. But Jason doesn't hear them. One thought dominates his mind. I can't walk away like this. I won't lose. And then, a new voice rings out. Loud, firm, authoritative. What's going on here? The crowd falls silent. 2 British police officers emerge from behind the fence. Now it's serious. Jason, breathing heavily, throws up his hands, rushing forward as if he's finally found his saviors. His eyes burn with a mix of frustration and self-righteousness. He's a mess, sweaty, beer-stained, his hair disheveled, his face flushed. He looks like a man who just lost a fight but refuses to accept it. Officers! His voice is loud, raspy from yelling. He throws his arms out dramatically as if saying, Look at me! I'm the victim here! That psycho with a rifle attacked me. The crowd murmurs, but the tone has shifted. The energy is different now. Less excitement, more mockery, curiosity, anticipation. Some people keep recording. Others exchange knowing smirks. The officers don't react. 2 tall men in black uniform jackets, silver badges gleaming. Their faces are blank, unreadable, carved from stone. No emotion, no sympathy, just cold, assessing stares. He pushed me, you understand? Jason raises his voice, hoping volume will win him favor. Just because I touched him, that's assault. I didn't do anything wrong. The crowd chuckles, but the officers don't laugh. One of them, a tall, broad-shouldered black man with a sharp, icy gaze, lifts an eyebrow. You touched the guard? His voice is low, steady, detached. Jason blinks, as if he doesn't understand why that question matters. Well, yeah, but that's not a reason to attack me. He throws his arms out as if saying, Come on, you have to be on my side. The officers don't move, don't react. They just stare. And that stare is enough. The crowd goes quiet. A few seconds pass. They feel like an eternity. The officers glance at each other. A quick, almost imperceptible exchange. Like one asks, Another idiot? And the other responds, Yep. We taking him? Jason notices the look, but doesn't understand what it means. He still thinks he can win. The officer steps forward. Sir, his voice is calm, controlled. By law, you are not permitted to touch a royal guard. That is a violation of public order. The crowd stirs. Some whisper, Oh, he's screwed. Wait, that's actually illegal? This is going to be good. But Jason hears only his heartbeat. He blinks, once, twice, then his face changes. What? He practically shouts, his tone shaking with outrage. You've got to be kidding. He's a tourist attraction. The officer doesn't flinch. I barely touched him. Jason gestures wildly toward the guard, but stops mid-motion, suddenly realizing that one more touch could be his final mistake. The officers don't move. That is not an attraction, sir. A pause. That is military personnel. The crowd gasps, a few chuckles, and then the officers move. Jason doesn't even register what happens next. 1 second, he's yelling. The next, his arms are being grabbed, hard, fast. You are under arrest. Click. Metal handcuffs snap shut. The crowd roars. Damn, that was quick. Well, he had it coming. What an embarrassment. Hope he learns his lesson. Some people laugh, others applaud. Jason hears none of it. He wants to speak, but he can't. It's over. All his words, just empty noise. He looks at the guard. The guard doesn't move. And for the first time all day, Jason feels fear. The internet explodes with scandal. Within just a few hours, events spiral out of control. The internet erupts. The video of Jason crashing to the ground after being hit by the Royal Guard's rifle spreads across social media like wildfire. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, even news websites are flooded with reactions, a mix of awe and mockery. Major media pages jump on the story, filling their feeds with headlines: American tourist arrested for attacking a royal guard. Drunk tourist tests the patience of the British Guard. Here's how that went. How one stupid mistake turned this man into an internet star. Views skyrocket exponentially. Short clips from various angles rack up hundreds of thousands of likes and comments. What an idiot. How can someone be this dumb? They think they can do anything anywhere. He got what he deserved. So satisfying to watch him eat the pavement. They should sell tickets to this show. That guard is a legend. Journalists interview tourists who witnessed the event. Some are outraged, others can't stop laughing, but no one defends Jason. Memes flood the internet. One shows Jason flying backward, eyes wide in shock, with the caption, "When you think you can do whatever you want, but reality says nope." Another features the stone-faced guard standing next to a handcuffed Jason. British monarchy, 1. American tourist, 0. The most brutal edits add dramatic music, slow-motion replays, and captions like, "A historic moment, the fall of America on British soil." But while the internet laughs, Jason sits alone in the cold holding cell of a London police station. At the police station, the room is small, gray, empty. A plastic chair, a metal table, a surveillance camera in the corner. A heavy silence fills the space, broken only by the occasional footsteps outside. Jason slouches in his chair, shoulders dropped. He looks exhausted, angry, and defeated all at once. The beer stain on his t-shirt has dried, but it still feels sticky and disgusting. His eyes are blank, as if he still can't fully process how he ended up here. "This is just," he mutters, staring at the floor. "This isn't American." His voice is distant, hollow, like he's trying to convince himself that this is all just some ridiculous mistake. Sitting across from him is a police officer, mid-40s, sharp features, calm gaze. The officer slowly shakes his head. "This isn't America, sir." His tone is flat, uninterested, like a man who has heard this excuse 100 times before. Jason sits up straight, eyes flashing with irritation. "In the States, you could mess with any security guard, and no one would arrest you." The officer doesn't react. He just stares at Jason, long, steady, unblinking, watching him like a lost animal that wandered into the wrong place. A tense silence. Then, from across the room, a quiet chuckle. Jason turns his head. Max is leaning back on a bench, legs crossed. He doesn't look worried. If anything, he looks entertained. "So, TikTok star? Ready to pay your fine?" He's grinning, barely holding back laughter, giving Jason that look that says it all. "Told you this was a bad idea." Jason drops his head and lets out a deep sigh. He finally understands. There's no undoing this. The morning of the trial. The next morning, Jason wakes up with a pounding headache and a heavy pit in his stomach. A dream? No, not a dream. He's still in the police station. The cold fluorescent lights sting his eyes. The room is still gray. His American flag t-shirt still carries the stains of yesterday's humiliation. News of his arrest spread instantly. While he sits in a holding cell, the internet keeps buzzing with memes and mockery. His name is in the headlines, and every move he makes is being recorded. But none of that matters now. What matters is that today, he's going to court. In the courtroom. The courtroom is small, modest. No grand pillars, no pomp and ceremony. Just plain walls, wooden benches, and a judge in a traditional black robe, making him look even more intimidating. Jason is nervous. Max sits beside him, far too relaxed for the situation. The same police officer who processed Jason's arrest now stands before the judge, calmly reading out the details of the case. Jason zones out. This is just a misunderstanding. They'll clear it up. Maybe I'll get a fine, but nothing serious. But when the judge lifts his head and delivers the verdict, everything changes. Jason Miller, the court finds your behavior inappropriate and a violation of public order. Under British law, interfering with the duties of a royal guard is considered a serious offense. Jason holds his breath. Therefore, you are fined £2,000? A pause. Jason feels his stomach tighten. £2,000? For pulling a strap? But the judge isn't finished. And you are hereby permanently banned from entering the United Kingdom. Silence. Jason's mind goes blank. Max snorts, covering his face to hide his laughter. But Jason doesn't hear him. He just stares at the judge in absolute shock. What? He barely chokes out the word. This is a joke, right? The judge, showing zero sympathy, raises an eyebrow. This is an official court ruling. Jason blinks, trying to comprehend. You're deporting me? Over this? The judge remains stone-faced. You no longer have the right to enter the United Kingdom. A court officer casually closes the case file, making it clear. Discussion over. Leaving the courtroom. As Jason stumbles out of the courthouse, pale and shaken, he's greeted by a mob of reporters, cameras, flashes, voices shouting. How do you feel about the verdict? Do you think this was fair? Do you regret your actions? Jason blinks, dazed. This feels like a nightmare. Max, grinning ear to ear, claps him on the back. Well, dude, you're a legend now. You'll go down in history as the guy who touched a guard and got banned for life. Jason lets out a deep sigh, because now he knows this story will follow him forever.